Welcome to Lobster Magnets Review, the channel, the review. I'm here with my buddy Gorogregoro, and we are here to talk about the latest chapter of Dr. Stone, chapter
No,
4.
One Piece.
You want to do One Piece first?
Yeah, One
Okay,
Piece.
fine. Let's do One Piece. Whatchamacallit? This is not Dr. Stone. That'll be probably the next video after this. Obviously, we're not going to re-record this because we like to just play it loose and fast. So this is One Piece, chapter 860 something plus 860.
868. Yeah.
All right. So I knew it was 860. So Greg, what do you think of this chapter?
Well, wow. All this planning from Luffy and Bege just kind of went to absolute shit, and I just fucking love that. I love that about this chapter.
There was always the sense that, it's the most, even if the rocket's filled with, the deadliest poison in the world, in the One Piece world, conventional arms is, the most useless, fucking thing you can do at a person. There's, nothing less threatening than, shooting a bazooka or shooting a bullet. That is the least threatening thing you have in the One Piece universe, when punches have the power of atom bombs and you can train hard enough to use a sword that shoots laser beams. I don't care what you say, Zoro shoots laser beams.
Yeah, there's I guess essentially he does shoot the whatever number pound cannon thing that he does with the swords.
You don't know if they're fucking laser beams. In a world where you can shoot laser beams with swords, you don't need guns or cannons, so of course it's going to fail. It just failed really spectacularly. But yeah, it is fun that now that we see the alliance, now we're going to see, everything went pretty well to plan, except for, the most important part. You should have maybe, fired them one at a time instead of all three, but, then it's more entertaining for us, because now we see that, Luffy and the Beige alliance are, they're fucked. They're completely fucked.
They're probably worried that the 5-second window was gonna close, so they decided to go all out on this, window of opportunity that was only theoretical. It was only a theoretical chance, and they had to use these weird scientific-y conventional weapons in order to accomplish it. You had a sort of slimmer of hope, that this was gonna work, even though it's like you said, in the One Piece universe, things like this usually don't do anything to people.
Yeah, because One Piece is a fantastical, fantasy, magical universe where people have incredible powers, and if you train hard enough, you can break boulders with your fists and do other ridiculous things. So now Luffy is completely fucked. Everyone is fucked. I did love that last panel, though, where they have to run into Beige's fucking giant.
His grosser Vater ability. I didn't know what the hell he was doing with his hands, but he somehow just transformed himself into a giant fucking massive castle.
It's a Logia fruit, maybe, and it transforms him into an inanimate object or something, and that's his castle form. It was a great panel, though. Just him as the craggy castle, and they're just it was great. Now we've got Big Mom versus Big Father.
The design reminds me of some weird creatures you'd see in
Well, honestly, you know what it really
the
reminds
Labyrinth movie, or
it
fucking
looks like a rock monster from Neverending Story.
Yeah, I was about to say Neverending Story, or one of those characters.
Yeah, it literally looks like the rock monster from Neverending Story, which is, kind of amusing to a degree. I liked it. It was a good design.
Yeah.
We also, I was afraid we weren't getting any more Big Mom backstory, but we got some more. Greg, you didn't like the backstory. Why not? Why didn't that work for you?
It was kind of weird. It's it just so happens a really devious little kid who has
definitely
it's such a very unique set of skills that perfectly match up with Big Mom's personality. It just so happens I create ingredients with my powers, and I was listening in on the whole time, and now we're gonna form this big pirate group to create world peace. And gather up everybody. Otherwise, we'll kill everybody who disagrees with us.
On some ways, I can agree with in the sense that he feels like a little too convenient. But I personally enjoyed Struzan or whatever the fuck he was called, just because of the fact that Big Mom, as Scott Zavul pointed out last week, he's not here this week. He's at a con. We'll try and get him next week. Big Mom's kind of a dumb character.
I mean, as a kid, maybe, but like...
She's sat here now, but she's like, as a child, she was stupid. So it doesn't really quite make sense as to why she'd want to become a pirate. And now we've got this evil guy who basically saw her and I love it how there's no ambiguity that they disappeared. No, she fucking ate them. She ate them whole. She's a cannibal. She's an uncontrollable monster that eats people. There was no ambiguity. He saw it. The giant was horrified. While Mr. Amoral, failed pirate Struzan's like, this is funny. Oh, I see this cannibalistic murdering monster who eats children. Let's see what I can get out of this.
We have the perfect combinations of devil fruit powers and abilities. Like, I can create anything that she wants for eternity. And she's got all the power.
Yeah. The interesting thing is he still alive? My guess is I don't think he's still alive. I think was probably killed.
No, he's the chef. They showed that. They showed that in after the flashback, the back and forth panel between him, his younger face and the older face.
No.
Yes, that is a chef.
No.
He was warning Big Mom.
Wait, what?
I swear to God.
He's in that chapter?
Yes.
I need to see this for myself. I thought he was just introduced there from the start. I didn't think he was a recurring character. I'll have to go to the One Piece wiki. Do you remember what page it was?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, because I'm looking through it right now and I don't see him at all.
You see, he's trying to warn her. Rin, return to your senses. They're going to shoot you. On page 7.
Okay. Let's see.
I believe this is the same character.
How do you know it's the same character? He looks completely different.
He's got the same lips, the same... He's got the big eyelashes, the same kinds of eyebrows.
I'm not so...
He's same stature. The same
I don't know,
big ears.
That mustache is throwing me off. I'm gonna have to research this. Yeah, now I have to know. Now
okay.
I have to.
Oh, we're gonna look it up. All right.
No. We don't want this to get too long. We vowed to try and make this more economical. So we'll do this after the thing. I'll do this on my own time.
No. I found it.
Struzan.
Okay, I'll send you an image right now. He said his name was Struzan, right?
Yeah, Struzan.
Gonna post this in Skype.
Okay. Send it to me.
All right, click on that.
I can't believe it. I thought he was just a rando that I thought it was Big Mom's first husband and maybe she killed him off.
Nope.
She ate.
Main chef.
What? So he was the first Big Mom pirate.
Yes.
Ah.
So that's why it was. That's why it was really messing with my head a little bit because it seemed a little bit just. Well, I really wanted it to be Big Mom's developing as a larger personality on her own as opposed to being goaded by some I guess he's an impish little chef creature.
Well, I don't think anyone can so much control Big Mom as much as move her, point her in a direction. I guess you feel a little bit betrayed that her ambition to become the greatest pirate was moved by this little guy who kind of took advantage of her and built this empire.
Exactly. And it also reminds me of sort of what's his name? The gooey guy who teamed up with Don Flamingo when he was really young as
Oh,
well.
Treble.
Yes.
Fuck Treble. I hate Treble.
He called him
I
Duffy.
Duffy! Oh, he was the most obnoxious piece of shit.
Duffy, you're gonna become a great person one day and manipulate so many people in the higher ups. I'm gonna manipulate you too and make you into a big pirate king person or pirate warlord.
That was always kind of stupid, where it's like, Dolphy, just these random guys. I think in the anime they develop it a little bit better, where Doflamingo's like shows his conqueror's hockey, and then these random guys are like, we're gonna follow you because you have the hockey of the king, and they're just these random mooks who they're all kind of terrible. I kind of hate them all. I hate Diamante. I hate Treble. Pika was okay. But we're getting sidetracked. We want to get more focused. But, so you hate those characters, and that's why you kind of hate this guy.
Yeah, it felt really too similar to like Don Flamingo's thing, and I didn't even like that very much a little bit. I kind of wanted it to be like, Big Mom kind of solo develops the idea in her head and not someone trying to implant the idea.
That's an interesting observation. I can see why you don't like, why you didn't like. To me, it was like too minor to, like, my mind is blown that it was like even more important. There's theories that her like first child, the guy who was like the lickety guy, is like the son of Struzen.
Oh, is a lickety guy the son of Struzen?
They look very similar. And so that's enough anime genes to like make them, and it would make sense that maybe he was her first husband, and then he grew too old to sire children. So then Big Mom started like pooping out other children. Like I'm still obsessed with like the sexual dynamics of Big Mom and like how any of that like works and makes sense.
Who knows? I have no idea how that works at all.
Yeah, I want someone to do an anatomical study about. Yeah, I really want to know. But
I think it must have something to do with the juicing lieutenant. He just like drains all the guy's juices and gives him Big Mom, big cup.
Well,
that's how babies are born.
I could see that in the One Piece universe. That sort of makes sense in a twisted way. But remember, the juicing lieutenant was one of her daughters. So that means it's a chicken or the egg. Like, Big Mom produced like their first 10 children naturally, and then the rest were all through her juicing.
That's what I would guess.
Who knows? Like, it's like one of those stupid things I could just tell I'm going to be obsessed about forever. That I'm going to like, just go to some horrible depths to like have it make sense. But okay, she's got like a billion children, but it was still a really good chapter. Although I was appreciative that we got like more of a flashback, because I did want to see more about her rise to become king and founding Totland. I would love to hear what Scott's opinion or Zavul's opinion on this arc was, but we'll have to wait for that in the future. But yeah, now the Straw Hats and the whatchamacallit things are the Beijing pirates are kind of fucked. So, oh man,
that part of the chapter I really loved. When they're so fucked, everything about the plan going to shit, and their faces, the expressions. I love those shocked One Piece expressions. They're like some of the best faces and stuff.
Yeah, and it feels like they'll just have to come up with some escape. And in some ways, I'm glad that like maybe Luffy will like get a hit on Big Mom. He shouldn't be able to Big Mom. She's been built up so much that like there's no way he should be able to beat her. There's no way he should be able to conquer her children. The fact that it like took everything he had just to beat like the biscuit guy. So they're kind of fucked. So maybe what they'll do is they'll win a Sphere victory. They'll incapacitate Big Mom in some way. That'll be a big news story.
Big news story.
News from Big News Morgan. That'll be a big news story. Somehow Pudding will get a redemption arc. And help them get out of the Tea Party.
Oh, maybe she'll extract their memories of it and they'll forget.
Maybe.
That would be so cheap.
That's a lot of people to extract. I hope that would be kind of lame. Why do we... Then there's also the Tamago box, set up all the way back in Fishman Island, the box filled with explosives that Big Mom is super excited about, opening up.
Hold on, I gotta close the door for a second.
Sure thing. So I'm just going to keep on talking about One Piece. So I think this Pudding could possibly get a redemption in this arc. Um, and like that's what Oda seems to be building up to, and that's like a good way to like have the mix of like Luffy shouldn't be able to tackle over a Yankow at this point. It would feel like undeserved considering how much Big Mom has been built up and how like invulnerable and like indestructible she is. So they'll get some sort of Pyrrhic victory where they get Sanji back, they get out of the Tea Party, and that'll be big news enough. So we're getting around towards the 15-minute mark. I promised Greg that we try and keep this a little less rambling. Greg, so what would you rate this chapter?
I mean, the backstory was a little bit of a blow, but I still really am enjoying it. But I have to say, 7.5, 8?
I think it was a good 8.5. I really enjoyed it. It moved things along. I love the Big Father versus Big Mother. I'm sure there's a lot of interpretations you could take it about that. As Big Mom is the ultimate matriarchy versus Beje, who was identifies as an Italian mafioso, which is like one of the most classical signs of patriarch culture that everyone sort of loves. So I'm sure there will be a lot of analytical critiques and videos about that now that we've got. Although I'm sure on Oda's mind it's just like Big Mom versus Big Father. Oh, this is awesome. Who's gonna win?
That's like kind of an interesting talking point. I imagine there's going to be more of that later on in this arc.
We'll have to see how it plays out in their little fight. Obviously, it's like a defensive measure that's just supposed to buy them time as they like come up with a new get the fuck out of there plan. But who knows? Maybe there was something to read about Big Mom's evil matriarchy versus Capone Bege's patriarchy. Maybe it is like kind of a sexist, anti-feminist message, or maybe it's just Oda having fun with like a gangster versus a big mom.
Who knows? Maybe it can be both. But I just like Bege's finger flip thing. It's like,
yeah.
Wait, how's it go? It's like this. Ein Großvater.
I gotta admit, Bege is like gone up on the supernova list from this arc. Oda's done wonders with a character I previously could not give a fuck about.
I 100% agree. It's like I loving Beige right now. It's like a big fan.
Yeah. I like it, the fact that he's like unapologetically villainous. He's got like these sort of like moral decorum, and way he works, and the fact that Oda doesn't try and make him sympathetic, but he's still like really reliable. Like I think this was a big character test. The fact that like everything goes shit up, but like he doesn't abandon Luffy. He doesn't make a run for it. He tries to help his allies. So despite the fact he kills like organization leaders just to see the animal's body writhe, there is like something dependable about him. He's maybe a monster, but he's a monster who keeps his word. Yeah,
absolutely. Actually, that's a really good point about that. The end towards this chapter, he's like not like cowering away. He's trying to help everybody from his pirate group along with Luffy and his allies and stuff, which is really cool. Really admirable.
It could be, if they want, like for an underworld skeevy character, you could easily just have him like turn tails and say, fuck you, all right, we're gone. But the fact that he's like telling them, or like only his people get in, but the Straw Hat Pirates are let out to like get killed by Big Mom's crew, so then he can like run away for some bullshit. But the fact that he's like protecting them both as the Big Father, makes him slightly more empathetic and heroic, even though he's not a good guy by any stretch of the means.
Yeah, I'm curious how the rest of this story arc is going to play out after everything. It's going to be really good, I imagine.
It's best arc of the New World so far, so I'm loving it. Can't wait for next week. All right, so I think that's finish up the 8.5, 7 for Greg.
7.5, maybe 7.75. 7.75.
You're bringing it up.
Yeah.
In your score. All right, this has been a fun video. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching this. Give us a comment. I love replying to your comments since it makes me feel good. And I got more analytical videos coming out soon, and eventually I'll have a cool channel bumper. So have a good one.
See you guys.